Hello, everyone. It's been a while. It's a very special episode of the Opinion Zone in collaboration with my other podcast, the Convention Creatives. And I'm joined here by two of my dearest friends from the convention stream team. We have the wonderful PB, co-host of my other podcast, and the amazing Noodle from Twitch. Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I am very tired because I have been playing Sonic Crossworlds until 4 a.m.
Oh, come on.
I don't know what you mean. I did not encourage this behavior.
Did you play it to that time as well?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I did. While working. It was a work and treat myself to a race type thing.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was good fun. And so everyone here has had a chance to play the open network test, and I can't wait to get into it because it's probably the first time in a while I've been quite excited to talk about a Sonic game.
Oh, not the grass. No!
Not the grass. Oh, I lost it again because of the grass every fucking time.
Eggman.
Every time. God, me and grass. Think I'm a cow trying to graze.
Moo moo bitches.
Moo
Bitches. Game, because it feels like there is a lot to unpack. I think a good place to start, though, is some context to our listeners as to what both your experiences is with playing Sonic. So, PB, I'm going to start with you.
Yes.
What's your history of Sonic games, knowledge of Sonic games, playing Sonic games?
The only experience I have with a previous Sonic game was literally 2 weeks ago when I tried the very first Sonic game ever for like a good 10 minutes before I got frustrated like 3 levels in. And then I was like, dinner time. I think I'll have dinner instead. And I did. I am meaning to go back and revisit the games, but as of this recording, Crossworlds is my actual first experience with Sonic in a gaming format.
Yeah, we can canonically say it's the Sonic game you put the most hours into.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
Noodle, what about you, though? Because I know for a fact that you have a bit more history of Sonic games. A little bit more. Just
a smidge. Yeah, a little bit. So, yeah, for me, the first game I played was the original Sonic on the Mega Drive. I was over at my friend's one day. He was playing Mario Brothers on the NES. And my friend came in and was like, come on, look at this, what I've got here. And literally the second, like, I seen it, just the colours, the music, everything, I was just engrossed immediately. The sense of speed at the time.
Yeah.
I know, unfortunately, the PAL versions have aged like mouldy cheese.
Not the moldy cheese.
Not the moldy cheese.
In regards to the speed of them, anyway. But yeah, from there, like Sonic 1, Sonic 2. My friends had a Master System, and then finding out about those games, like being brand new content. I think I've done pretty much every Sonic game that's been released, really.
Oh wow!
I even played Sonic. I even played Sonic Crackers.
Oh, why would you do that?
Crackers. That sounds like something.
Because at the time, we just thought it was a new game coming out, and it wasn't. It was a prototype for Chaotix. Yeah. So.
But yeah. So you played Chaotix? Have you played Chaotix?
I have played Chaotix. Yes, I've finished Chaotix.
Okay. Real fan. Okay, fair enough.
Real fan. Ooh, we're not getting into that today. Yes.
But it means that you have played all the previous Sonic racing games as well.
Well done.
So you do have quite some experience of All-Stars Racing, Transformed, Team Racing, even Sonic R. If we want to count Sonic R, I know some people do, some people
That is the original racing game, so it very much does count, yes.
Ooh. I can tell which side of the fence of the argument you're on there. So you have a lot of information going into this one and a lot of things to compare it to, because this game does actually seem to pull from a lot of the previous ones as well.
Yes, I would say that definitely.
Intriguing. So one thing we can all talk about, and I think is probably the one thing that everyone got very excited from the very start, is the fact that the character roster one is crazy huge, and it's like every Sonic character that you could possibly want seems to be in there, and Sonic characters you didn't necessarily want, no offense, as is also in there. So a huge array of characters.
SpongeBob, yeah,
Everybody loves. PB, as someone who's done a lot of, obviously drawing a lot of these characters and getting to know these characters through myself and Noodle, for example, what do you think of the roster that we had in this open network test? Were you quite impressed with what was available?
I have to admit that even from the network itself, the playtest that we had, I was surprised that they would show characters like Zaz in the playtest alone, let alone being in the game. I will admit that I didn't expect him and the other guy that is your Hear Me Out. Remind me the name.
Sava.
I didn't expect them to be in it. I did expect to see Mephiles in it. So there's some characters that I expected more because they seem to be a lot more prevalent in the fandom. While there are some characters which I didn't really expect to see, like the, excuse my knowledge, the generic Eggman robot character. Who am I talking about?
You are talking about the egg pawn, the little egg robo dude.
the egg robo.
Yes.
Like, why would he be a character, but not a character like Mephiles, which is featured quite prominently even in the Sega monthly art thing, right? Yeah. Where we don't really see Zaz and Dem in it. Yeah. So it is a little bit of some strange choices. That said, it is wonderful to see that there are so many characters in it. And it does seem like there's going to be more to come. I am particularly happy about seeing Werehog myself. Even though we didn't get to play him in the playtest, I do feel like they should have given us a teaser of him to make people want to buy the pre-order.
Yeah.
Right? Because if people got a chance to play him even for like 3 days and fell in love with the character, it would be more likely that they would purchase the pre-order for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's interesting. I also kind of wish that they gave us a teaser of Miku and on the network test as well, just because I'm super curious about Miku in a race car game.
So, just to kind of speak about what PB mentioned then, with the Zarbok and Saz, like, you might agree with me on this, maybe, I'm not entirely sure, but Sega will generally kind of churn out those types of characters rather than Mephiles. For example, in video games, it seems you have to really kick up a fuss if you want to get a certain character in a game. But then I suppose because they have to have a reason to have them in the game. But you will find generally characters like the Sinister Six and stuff will more often than not be in the multiplayer option of a game.
They do appear a lot. I would say that.
Okay.
The only other thing is, I feel like some of these characters appear a lot because they just have a lot of character models for them. It's something they can easily pull from. Mephiles now has an updated character model thanks to Shadow Generation. So hopefully,
yes,
that will play in our favor. Noodle, were there any characters that you were quite excited to check out or play as, or any characters that you wish were in the network test?
For me, I was actually really glad to see. Oh my god, what do they call themselves? The characters from Sonic Riders, and I've totally forgotten their names.
We got
Jet,
Jet the Hawk, Wave the Swallow, and the other one, the Albatross,
and the other
Storm, the beefy one.
Storm, yeah,
and the other one.
Wow,
Yeah.
Fake fan. Where's my t-shirt from last week?
I always like seeing kind of competitors for Sonic that aren't particularly just hedgehogs.
Yeah.
So it's good to kind of see how they compete. So I like seeing characters like that. Again, it's probably because he's a speed type. But the roster I thought was pretty decent. Obviously, they can't show everybody that's going to be there because there'd be no point in playing the actual game. But I agree with PB. Like, even if they give us a tease of some of the characters that are coming out, even if it's like, you know how they did the kind of the goals each hour. It was like, oh, so and so is unlocked for an hour. Give them a try.
Yeah,
I mean, it asked us about 7 times to pre-order the game whilst we were playing. So I think had they done that and then said pre-order, people would have said, yes, have my money, thank you. There you go. That's definitely.
Yeah, I would say if they did that to me with Werehog, if I got to play Werehog for like an hour, because I like the character and model, even without having played the game, so much, and I got to experience him for an hour and liked the playstyle, and then suddenly be like, oh, do you want to pre-order it now? I would be in that zone of like, oh my god, I got to play my character for an hour. Fine, okay. And if you pre-ordered him, you'd get to play him for an extra hour. And that's how it should have been.
I was going to say, like, if there was an incentive to be like, if you pre-order, you can have the pre-order character for the open network test and things like that. There's a few different things they could have done.
100%.
I personally very much like the roster we had available. I think they gave us a decent mix of all the different types. Definitely had the obvious fan favorites. I'm glad that, I think it was fun that we got to play as Joker, one of the like DLC characters, so that was kind of fun that they included that in. So I liked, and I could tell a lot of people liked that character because he popped up a lot in online matches.
Everywhere.
A lot of people were playing as Joker.
And that does show they could add the DLC characters into the playtest because he was there. So
it was very possible.
Though one would have to mention that they could add their own characters rather than something like SpongeBob.
Yeah,
because we don't know what contractually. Yeah, fair enough.
Like any popular Sega characters they could have put in a Miku.
Sky Spaghetti.
Okay, so can I pose a question?
Yes.
I am unfortunately very Sega ignorant. I was raised in a Nintendo household, for better or for worse. So if either of you had to choose 3 characters from Sega for them to add aside from Miku,
okay.
Who would you be interested in seeing? Because there's only 3 announced, but there are 10 more slots from the Sega repertoire announced, but not revealed. Who would you like to see in them?
Ooh la la.
Ooh
It just
la
has to
la.
be base Channel 5.
Of course.
It would be nice if Pudding was there as well, but I'll take. And that's the one I want to see. If I don't see it, I'm going to write a letter. Like, that's the character above all that I need to see. What about you, Noodle?
I would probably say Rystar.
Good shout.
Yep. This is quite niche, but sorry, my cat's walking in front of the screen.
That's adorable. I got.
Do you remember Dynamite Heady?
Vaguely, yes. That's a cool bird.
I think he had so much potential, and he got 1 game. Yeah. And probably bring back Ryo. Ryo Hazuki. He needs more from Shenmue. We love that.
Ryozuki back. We need the forklift truck back.
Forklift DLC confirmed.
Yeah. We need that. I was thinking also, I'd like to see Nights into Dreams make.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Like that.
It's alright. You can swear here. We're a swearing house.
Yay!
We are
Willies.
explicit. Language.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't use that.
Please use that. Please use that. I have to. Crazy. That's what. Willies. Such fun. So random. All good. All good.
But yes, Nines would be very good. And I think maybe some Crazy Taxi, maybe some Outrun actually have the racing franchises represented, maybe. That could be fun.
Yeah. They do have a massive repertoire for them to borrow from.
Especially
Shinobi.
with the Crazy Taxi game that's meant to be coming out in the next year or so as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jet Set Radio. Where's Beat?
Where's Gum? I loved Gum.
Yeah.
Gum was amazing. Yeah.
That was good. So that's a game I want to replay, like right now. But yeah, no, that Jet Set Radio needs some. There's so many franchises they can pull from, so I hope they do.
Okay. Good. Good to know.
How do we feel about talking of the characters, specifically the types that they were assigned to? So it was interesting because for characters, we specifically, I think we had speed, we had accelerate, we had power, we had handling, and vehicles had some extra types to sort of throw into the mix, but those were the core for the characters.
I am going to have a little look-see at new character, though.
Did you guys play with carts, or did you switch to the airboards, or was it a mixture of the both last night?
Yeah, we were visiting different dynamics to try and see if the difference is a lot.
Did any of those appeal to anyone? Did any of those speak more, or was it more of a case of just trying everything out? Because I know for me, it took me a long time. I was trying every type of thing out to see which sort of character type I liked.
Yeah. I liked that there was so many different types, because usually in racing games you get like Sonic Heroes, for example, you get power, you get speed, and you get kind of handling, I suppose, and that's usually all you get.
Yeah.
So it was good that they gave us more options. I kind of fell back on, because I always played as Knuckles on All Stars Racing Transformed. I just kind of used him, and I was using the airboard, which is boost.
That's boost, yeah.
Yeah. So that combination worked for me pretty much straight away. So I didn't have to change it right. When I did change to the kart occasionally, you could definitely tell there was more of a kind of power shift.
Yeah.
But I liked the kind of maneuverability more of the board. So
Yeah.
that's all I needed to do.
Yeah. I think,
Interesting.
PB, I'm curious, when you, as someone, didn't know all the characters very well, were you more interested in the character stats, or did you initially be like, I like this character? Which was a more leading decision initially, like just the characters in terms of like, everyone loves Shadow, let's pick Shadow, or like, no, I like this type of character.
I think because, unlike you both, I just like the franchise, and I don't particularly have a specific niche love for a character. There was no real bias to be like, oh, I'll pick this person versus this person based on character. I tried to see what worked for me. I do think this game very specifically caters to each individual's play style, right? Where power and boost works for Noodle. I found it to not work for me at all. In fact, I don't think I understand what boost is to this day. I didn't find any benefits from it. I thought it was a fairly redundant stat. But that is me because it is how I play. Where I realized that having a car with very high handling and then going for a character with the most acceleration worked nicely. So I had my cute little pink cabriolet with Shadow in it at the end, and it was,
Such a good combo.
Edge meets kawaii punk. Yeah, I do think that it does a good job in catering for each individual's type of racing style. And it is just a matter of finding the machine and the character that works for you. Once you do figure that out, for example, like I said, handling and acceleration for me, just look at which characters fall under that category and then choose from them, I guess.
Yeah, I do want to add that you said it perfectly, which is I feel like in previous racing games, not 100% the case, but generally, the character you choose has a major sway in what that playstyle is going to be. Sometimes you can customize the vehicles a bit, and that does have some various chains. Whereas this game, I feel like you can really mix and match. Like you can pick a power character and put them in like a boost vehicle, or you can pick a handling character and put them in as an accelerating vehicle and stuff. And towards the latter half of my time in the playtest, I really got into the idea of trying different characters with different vehicle types and stuff, and really getting to understand the stats and how they could affect you. And like, I feel like it is crazy, PB, how good you got towards the end, because once you mastered this idea of like, you weren't super thrilled of like the drifting and the steering and stuff, so then you moved towards handling, and then you were like mastered that part, and then you're like, oh, I wonder if I put a speed character in, and it just suddenly just like first place, and like amazing.
I did really well after we stopped stream, Noodle. It's like it clicked.
After we started stream.
Yeah, it clicked after a while.
To be fair, I don't think there wasn't a single one of us that improved quite a lot compared to the first night and then on the second night.
Yeah.
But there was, you know, I think I'm relatively good at those types of games, and you were beating me quite a lot towards the end. Like you were, once you'd figured out how to, you know, like when I finished stream with you, you had Amy in the car.
Yeah.
And seeing that bad boy transformed into the monster truck and getting flattened by a bright pink and blue monster truck several times was always really nice, you know? I was like, oh, there he goes. I'm just laying on the floor.
So,
Quite
Noodle,
funny.
it sounds like for you that you very much gelled with the boost type then. That's the sort of vehicle type that you seem to. Why? What was it about the boost that you thought they did well?
I just think that the game now seems to reward combos and the boosting itself. Like it seems to be the kind of not the main focus, but I would say like a majority of the mechanics seem to be aimed around that. Like when you're in the sky, you literally can just boost from the second you take off, you know? The water one, again, I didn't particularly understand what I was doing in the water with the boost because it seemed to just be everywhere. But again, that's because I skipped the tutorial, so that wasn't a game's fault. But, you know, I also just think because I am like it was speed that kind of got me into the series, so being able to boost continuously seems like a kind of way I like to play my racing games, yeah.
Firstly, I am curious about, because we were talking about character stats. Question to you both. Do you think that the friendship section in the extras is going to increase your friendship with a certain character you use, and in that increase their stats to improve them?
So this is the first I'm hearing about the friendship section because I never looked.
It was grayed out. You couldn't select it.
It was grayed out. We kept speculating, trying to figure out what is behind it. So when you go into the extras, at the top there was challenges, titles, and then friendships. And I do think that friendships is going to be based on how much you use a character, similar to like getting titles and doing challenges.
Yeah.
But what is the point of raising that friendship if you're not getting some form of reward? Because the challenges give you the rewards. The titles are within themselves a reward. So friendships must give you something. In my opinion, it could be two things. Boost stats or different outfits for the characters.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe.
There's going to be some benefit to doing that system. I'm just curious what that system actually is meant to be.
It would be quite nice if you could add, improve the stats of a character over time. You know, just to, I'm not saying like make one character more OP than the other, but if they kept scaling them up depending on how much you use them, then they would go.
I personally think the stat boosting will be tied to the plate. Only because in the very limited time I was looking at it, there was options to increase. In fact, maybe I'm wrong, because there was options to get more chance of getting certain power-ups that increased your speed. Increase the speed, increase your speed, or like if you're going to get like a power item, maybe they'll do a different plate that is actually stat-based. There could be the friendships, like you said. It could also be that they change how certain power-ups behave if you unlock like certain friendships, maybe.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
I think it's interesting you mentioned that, because I think there is something with the friendships of it's either how you play with others. I don't think that might be it. I do think it is what PB is saying about being rewarded for focusing on a character. I think I don't know what the result of that could be. It could be skins. It could be just other benefits. It could be you unlock more gadgets to put on your plate that are tied to that character.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it could be. So
Ooh,
like,
imagine having a chaos control shadow boost.
Well,
that is
it
tied
could all
to
be
him only.
custom stuff. Like it could be you. The more you play a shadow, you unlock a shadow fiend aura or a shadow fiend horn and things like that. So you can fully deck out your vehicles with stuff about that character you built a good friendship
Fair enough.
with.
Yeah.
There's plenty of things there. I think you were right with the gadget system for the plates. There are gadgets there that actually affected your stats. So there were some that increased likelihood of items and such, but there were also ones that were very much about, this boosts your power stat, for example. And then if you looked at the parameters, because I didn't realize, because it doesn't really make it very clear, but throughout most of the menus, you can always open your parameters and on each screen, even when the icon isn't there at the bottom. So when I was looking through the gadgets, I could see which of the items would affect my stats to my character.
I did not know that. I will admit.
No,
Nice.
I didn't do that either.
I knew that worked out in like the last hour or so, but so it was interesting that you could play around with that. There was one gadget that was very interesting that we noticed in the last hours of playing that was like it increased all your stats by 20 in the last lap.
All right, okay.
Which is a crazy boost, considering when you're adjusting things, it's like +4, -3, and this is like +20.
That is a lot of boost.
That is
Okay, that's good to know.
pretty good.
So like you'll have the most crazily powerful, easiest to handle, boost mad vehicle in the last moment. So there's definitely some interesting to play with. I genuinely liked the plate system. I think it added another layer of me having the opportunity to control and customize how my character played and the play style that, like, I really liked. There was one gadget that meant whenever I drifted, I spun around and hit people, which I know you were a big fan of.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of that. Yeah, maybe we can ask them to remove that from the game before it airs. Actually, that'd be nice. Yeah, or just for your Steam account.
Blog of J-Bear.
Yeah, I particularly liked the ones that helped me boost the stat that I wanted to move forward. They did use the more powerful ones like speed, acceleration. They used up 3 of your 6 gadget slots each, so I could only do 2 of them. But having a handling car with a speed acceleration based character and then putting the gadgets for speed and acceleration on top of that with Shadow were the reason why I was never placing lower than 5, even when I messed up royally and I was in 12th place for like the better half of by the end was like, oh yeah, I'll get there in the last few seconds. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't press yourself.
Good. My plate was pretty much dedicated to, I had like the wisp boosts and also the boost stat increase. So maybe when the full game comes out, I can actually learn to refine that a bit better, because I wasn't finishing first and second, So that's obviously something I wasn't doing quite right in regard to that build.
Fair.
It could also be a skill issue, to be fair.
It will be nice that unlike something like, well, I'm going to go into bad territory now. Unlike something like Mario Kart, where you choose your car, yes, and obviously there is some level of like choosing the right car and the right thing for you and the character. But this, it does feel like there's going to be a lot more fine-tuning, more than just the different parts and the different stats.
Yeah.
Again, it's a matter of your playstyle. If, let's say, I use this Spinny Drift one, but I don't drift often, that's a waste of gadget.
Waste of a gadget,
right?
yeah.
And there's so many gadgets that do very niche, unique things that unless it suits your playstyle or what you need in the different missions that you get,
Yeah.
then they're useless, and you're just using... So build is important. And making build important, making fine-tuning more important, makes it more flexible to the user, but also it makes it less stale as a game, because you're always doing things differently. And if I get bored to drifting and doing the way that I'm playing, and I play something a little bit different, then there's that excitement of finding the new gadgets that work for me. So, I clearly like this game.
I'm very passionate about it.
Very.
I hope when the full game is out that they do a build that kind of caters for each type of stat, and not just boosts. And obviously they showed us just a limited number of what was in the game. But if you get, like, for example, you could get a power board, put that in with Sonic, and that's power and speed straight away combined.
Yeah,
it'd be good to be able to alter it like that. But I have to wait see for the full go.
Yeah. It was,
also, have there been any Sonic racing games that they had motorcycles, since Shadow is known to use a motorcycle?
yes, one.
Yes.
I think All Stars Racing was the only game we had a motorcycle, because Shadow was on a motorcycle, I feel, in that one.
Rio was on a motorcycle. It was it
both
wasn't
on,
like so it wasn't a motorcycle that everybody could choose. It was literally just for those specific characters.
Okay.
So that was again an era of kart racer where your character had their vehicle and that was it. Like that was their vehicle. So like it wasn't like now where again, it was wild to me. I can have a Mega on a hoverboard. What is this game? Crazy.
That's so cool.
So yeah.
It's his tiny legs, his skinny legs. He looks like every gay man at the gym.
What is leg day?
What is leg day?
The gadgets were certainly interesting to play with, and again, it was another layer of like you have your character stats, you have your vehicle type, and that's stats, and then you have these things that you can either change your stats or just use to enhance your play style. So I really like that. I do think some of it wasn't best. Again, it's a network test. Its purpose was to test the online play. That's the purpose of what this was. But it was curious that some of the stuff wasn't overly signposted all the time. So some of it was a bit like mess around and find out. Like some of it you just had to work it out for yourself what some of it actually meant in practice. Did everyone sit through? I mean, Noodle, it sounds like you didn't, but PB, did you sit through the extremely long tutorial at the beginning?
So, because I had never played any of these games, and my only reference to this kind of racing with things and items and so on was Mario Kart that I played back when I had the Wii in 2010, something like that. I did try and go through the tutorial. Unfortunately, even though I was playing on Steam and on the PC, the entire tutorial and all the buttons and everything was purely for a console player. There was no information on no availability of switching the tutorial to something that I could use. So I couldn't understand any of it. So going in and telling me that you need to press this in conjunction with this to do this. And I'm like, I can't even find the button, let alone understand what you're telling me at a very fast pace. So I did find the tutorial quite redundant, and I had to figure it out on my own. I was a little bit disappointed with that, I will admit.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fail on their part, really, that they'd made an option for you to sit through. Was basically a long video effectively showing you this is what this does and this is what this does, and then not have it context sensitive to the input method. That seems a weird choice. That's quite a basic thing. I'm assuming, again, hopefully it's just because it's a network test, but for everyone playing on PC who's not using a controller, it was a bit like, oh great, I'll press that button. It doesn't exist. Amazing. That really helpful. Thank you.
I'm curious, PB, because you were playing with keyboard and mouse, was the UI in the game? Was that showing like it was keyboard options, or was it just purely thinking you had a controller plugged in?
No. Interesting question, because even though the tutorial was purely for controller and a console type controller, on the screen itself, I could see like press spacebar to continue, press E to get the emotes out, and so on and so forth. So it is there. They just chose to do that video very specifically for console players, which is unfortunate because I really needed it.
That's fair. No, very fair.
I really needed it.
It's interesting because, apart from the tutorial, I think the UI, when it wants you to press buttons, it seemed to be quite good at doing that, especially when it came to boosting and special types of boosts and that sort of thing. I also appreciated that I actually halfway through my playtest changed my control method. So by default, if you're holding a controller, it's press the A or the equivalent of the A button to accelerate. And then you use the triggers to steer and the other one to use your weapons. I went into options because like my thumb hurt so much. And I was like, not doing that anymore. And there was an option to change it so that the trigger became accelerate, left trigger became drift, and the A button became use an item.
Gatekeeping. I told you how sore my thumb was.
Gatekeeping. Also, there are people online, and I will say that I tried. I couldn't find it as easily as I thought between matches, so I just didn't think about it. On keyboard, because I play with mouse and keyboard, it is WSAD to move around, right? Yeah. And you very rarely use the arrow keys at all. Even when you're trying to move around on the screen with the options, it's always WSAD. But then when you try and open the news section, right, to see the different banners of information, you had to use the arrow keys.
That's quite odd.
It is a little bit odd. Then to use a power-up, it's Q. So you're doing the WSAD, but then to do the Q, it is a little bit... It's kind of like contorting your hand a little bit. However, people said that they couldn't change the key binding on keyboard. You can on controller, but not on keyboard. I was not able to verify this. I will say that boost and power up were so like kind of like you had to train yourself muscle memory of where they are, right? That in the beginning when I kept telling you guys, for some reason, I just keep turning onto myself.
Oh yeah, you did that.
Because I was so trying to get myself into using those keys. It was just a very strange cluster. And also, you only play with one hand, because spacebar to move, and then WSAD. So this hand, while I'm playing, I'm literally just playing like this. Which is a little bit... but it is what it is. I'm very used to playing with keyboard, so... Yeah, I really hope that there is a key binding thing, so I can, be a little bit more comfortable playing, I would say.
I hope they add that into the menu.
Yeah,
that needs to be in there. Really needs to be in there. I think generally the way they did the controller inputs need to work for keyboard, but I think it was a good set of options for the controller at least. I think generally the layout and presentation and stuff seemed quite good in match as well. I feel like there are some parts of the UI I really like, and some parts I'm confused by. So some things I like, for example, are this one did a really good job of when you throw an item and actually hit someone, it actually communicate you just twatted this person basically, and that was quite satisfying, especially in online matches.
So good.
So you actually, because usually I love doing that. If you throw an item behind you in most kart racing games, you might hear it, but who knows, it might have worked. But this one tells you actually you successfully hit someone.
Shows up with the portrait and the username, and they're looking fuck.
And in single player, which I liked as well, is sometimes when that would happen, the characters would actually have a go at you. So and they would talk to your characters. Like I was playing Shadow, I hit Eggman. He basically Shadow's leave me alone, basically, and Shadow made some smarky comment back. So I liked those interactions. One part about the UI I didn't like, which I'll just quickly say, is that even though it did say what position I was in, I don't think I ever got to the end of the match having any idea where I placed until the final leaderboard came out. And usually that's not an issue for me. Usually it's very obvious because it's very prominent, like, oh, I'm in third place, in seventh place. Somehow in those last moments, something about the way it's laid out meant I could not acknowledge what position I would. Every time I'd be like, I have no idea what place I'm in.
Yeah.
I could be at the back, I could be in first place. I have no idea.
Ooh, nice. I don't think I did too bad in this one.
How'd you get on?
I'm not even sure how
I
I
don't know,
did.
actually.
That's fine.
Nice.
Very nice. Fair play. Nice.
Very nice, very nice.
Such a
Your
weird
eye line was always drawn to the bottom right, and it was the ring counter, I think, that was going on in the bottom right. And normally that's where it says first place, second place, whatever.
Yeah.
And every
Exactly
time
that.
I was like, I have to wait for the board to come down to see what position I finished in.
So,
Yeah.
what is very interesting about this game is that generally, when you're in a racing game and when you reach a certain level of having played the racing game, you're either lapping people or you're so far ahead that your position is very much cemented, right? You're first, doesn't matter. You're first and second, and you know exactly where you are and what you're doing. Where this, all the maps have so much content in the last turn, right? There's all the little boosts on the floor that you're like eagerly trying to catch. There's the little power-ups and you're trying to shoot people last minute. There's the rings going like this and you need to go through them, right? That you're so focused on what is happening that you're not looking at your position counter at all. You're not even...
No.
You don't have time. There's so much going on, right? So it does that exhilarating, oh my god, I'm at the finish line. We're getting there. It has that really good intensity about it.
Not fourth place. I've been in third place the whole time. Absolute carnage of it. And it knocked me off the track. And now I'm in seventh. Oh, I'm going to write a letter. Oh, my word. Finish! Oh, I'm so mashed.
Okay, I was last the whole time, and then I lucked out with getting a power-up as soon as I was falling off the bridge at the end, and the power-up kind of like shot me through the entire thing.
But then there's that disconnect between, we're done, where did I place? And you're waiting for this ring counter, which honestly, I kept looking at what it is doing. It made absolutely no sense. It just numbers going kind of weird. That needs to go away because the rings don't matter in every game. I mean, they do. They give you like, bonuses and so on. But it's not like the main highlight. There needs to be a position on that screen so you don't wait for...
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I think I just clocked in my head what was in the bottom right-hand corner, and the biggest number was your speed, and above it was the ring counter.
Yeah, that's
while they
correct,
took away your placement, all you'd be watching is how fast your character that you're no longer playing as is racing. Because that's why the number would go like that. Because if you start to decelerate, the number would go down and go back up again. Like, I don't care how fast he's driving. He's AI now. He's being controlled by like the computer. Like
Exactly.
it doesn't.
It's
Like,
not.
I don't need to know
yeah.
he's going 148 miles per hour. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's not useful information. Tell me how badly I lost. That's what I need to know.
Tell me
that
where I
said,
finished after
when
getting
it's
hit by a massive monster truck. Sorry.
That said, when it comes to UI in general, I will say I am very pleasantly pleased with the UI for this. I have to say that over time, while I haven't played any Sonic games myself, I have had the pleasure of seeing Noodle play some Frontier. I have seen J-Bear play some Frontiers, Jamie. I have seen some Shadow Generations. And while it is very grandiose, I never felt like it was very user-friendly. It is either too basic, or there's just something that is almost a little bit cold, detached. Like, for example, with the Generations one, you have the levels that are these beautiful structures, right? It's so grandiose, it's so magnificent. But all you do is swipe and move the different, or kind of move in front of these different structures. It doesn't feel very welcoming. Where everything about the UI for this, it's like color and neon and welcoming animations with the nice, almost things that I would draw, right? Like even the actual buttons are really attractive. Everything is designed in a very nice, cartoony meets anime. It's very good for people with ADHD, basically, is what I'm saying. It's shiny and attractive in a welcoming way, not in an overstimulating way. I really, really liked the UI.
I think they did some great jobs. I like the fact the menu generally was consistently always in the same place on the left, so you always knew if you want to customize stuff, whether it be the main menu, in the lobby, in the racetrack section, it was always in the same location. The racetrack selection itself being the actual portals that you would go through.
Yeah,
just those little visual touches. I think did really good.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
I do hope when the full game comes out that so when you finish a race, for example, I hope it gives you the option to customize your kart without it trying to find the next match. I think you should all have to agree.
That's a good one.
Before you proceed. Because although you get to choose it again anyway when you're in the kind of waiting room, it should let you do that before you carry on, I think.
Yes, because you don't always have enough time to do the edits you want to your gadgets or to your car or to assess what character you want to play next. That is a very good one. The only way we could do it is to leave the queue, but also once you're in the queue, there's no exit button.
Honestly, we tried to exit 3 or 4 times last night, and it said it was cancelling, so hold down the button, and it's like, oh, found another lobby. Like, no, I don't want to do another lobby.
I don't want to play the lobby.
Let me out. I don't want to play.
Like, you will network test. You will test the network.
The network has you. It's like the Matrix, but for Sonic.
That very much felt like a bug rather than a design choice. That
I'm like, should it be counting up?
Yeah. It felt like, oh, why is the cancel button actively not do anything? Why is it there? Just a teaser. So that was a bit interesting. One thing I do like, talking about the lobby though, one thing I very much liked about the lobby was the implementation of the music. Because my gosh, they are making that theme stick in your head. They're going to do every different composition of that theme.
It is so good. Yeah. I so stuck in my head. Who are Huntrix now?
Oh, no, too soon.
I don't know no Huntrix and Saja boys. All I know is this song. Which is funny because right now I actually forgotten it. But
yeah, I'm scrambling in my head trying to think of the song and I can't think of it.
I can hear it like the Sonic racing part in my head. And what was funny was I watched the intro once, which is the lyric version, yeah. But every time you'd hear the motif in my head, I'd be like, in the back of my head, just like faintly, I just couldn't unhear it. Like it really did lodge into my head. The music
it's a
in the
very
game
good song.
Generally
they did well with it. I'm looking forward to hearing Miku sing it.
Yeah,
it all comes back to Miku.
So good.
Now I mean, Noodle, you might not agree, but I feel like most Sonic fans agree that like one thing Sonic games do consistently is good soundtracks.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And I'm glad that this theme tune continues that. It'll be nice to add to the very much large discography of like Sonic themes that I think people will be chanting for years to come at SonicCon after parties, I'm sure.
Coming
The
soon.
music in this game, it's coming soon. The music in this game in general, I think, is top notch. I think they've brought in some great people to do the remixes of the existing tracks. I think there's some awesome remixes in there, and I've noticed more and more that been announcing themselves on TikTok saying I had to keep it under wraps, but I'm the person who remix this track and stuff. And generally, the music and all of them, they've got the tone right of it, keeping you pumped, keeping you wanting to keep racing and stuff. It's all generally quite. Even the tracks that originally were quite slow paced, they've managed to just up it. Words, hype it up a bit so that you can actually get into the spirit. Actually, what do we think of the original tracks? Because for those of you who don't know, the museum, that is original music. The initial racetrack, the East Stadium, is the motif of the Sonic theme, to be honest. But there were, I think the actual original music was quite good as well, Noodle.
Now, I will admit, I can't really remember any of them, but only because I was so kind of focused on how much the races were throwing at me.
Yeah.
I do religiously play with sound on, like anybody will like confirm that, but at the minute I can't. If they were bad, I would have remembered them being bad, and I don't remember them being bad. So
that's interesting.
They must be good. But yes, I can't add much more opinion than that, unfortunately.
I will say that if there's individual music in the levels, I have been so focused on what was going on, because there is genuinely so much, too much sometimes, going on during the race that you don't really have. You're so focused. There's so much tunnel vision, and between trying to communicate with everyone while we're playing, and in my case, streaming, some things fall to the sideline, and the music in this case was it. I will admit I didn't realize that there were different tracks, with the exception of the that is just living in my head now.
Yeah.
But even though I don't know the tracks of the individual stages, the stages themselves, some of them definitely stood out more than others. Some of them I feel a little bit annoyed by, because I struggle with visually seeing the different components because of their color scheme. I don't think they're very well balanced in terms of contrast, but that is just me, my opinion, and what is visually appealing to me. Just to give an example, the roulette stage, I find it very difficult to navigate what is going on with it. There is a lot of reds and purples and browns which are all warm colors, which you're seeing at a very fast speed. And I actually struggle seeing where the track is at that speed because the colors are all blending in together. The only things that I can actually see visually pop are the green ball, the billiard ball, and the blue billiard ball, but the rest is all in the same color scheme, and it gives me a headache. And the same holds true for the Kraken stage. Everything is muted, everything is gray and purple, and with the exception of the highlights of like pink or red lightning, everything is the same color, and it is a very big struggle to actually see what is going on in those stages at that speed. I don't particularly love how they are designed. That said, it is all beautiful, it is all fun, and once you play and play and play and play the stage over and over, you get some muscle memory with where you're going.
Yeah.
That's my
Were there any tracks, were there any tracks or mid-Crossworld tracks that you quite looked forward to playing PB?
Too many. The shopping mall I really like. I really like the one that looks like Monaco, like the real world Monaco. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of it is. I don't particularly like the one that is there's the water slides and you fall off the edges
Mystic Jungle.
constantly.
Yeah.
But
Oh! Gosh! Did you see what that guy did? Because I was in first place for like a minute. Oh no! Shadow! What did you do, buddy? Twice! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Good God.
Oh my god!
But obviously that is the challenge, right? I don't not like it because I struggle to see it, like the other two that I mentioned. I don't like it because I'm a dumbass and I can't figure them out. That is on me. It's not on Sega.
It was very, very curvy. Like it was difficult to even stay on the track.
Yes. So now Noodle, I found a little strategy for that.
Of course you did.
Make sure that you hang back enough to get a drill or get one of those lasery things and save it for then. And as soon as you get to that point, hit the drill and you just jump across it without having to do the little slidey bit. Every time.
Right.
Like, whoop, we're doing that now. Because that monster truck, as soon as I transform into monster truck, whoop, out of stage.
Off we go, yeah. Oh, good.
Jeez,
Noodle, I'm going to guess that Mystic Jungle was possibly on your list of tracks that you weren't thrilled about when it came out. But were there any tracks that you were quite hyped to play?
So I really liked Metal Harbor.
Yeah.
Just because of how much kind of nostalgic it has from the original game, really. And I also really liked the museum. I liked that they were having, like, they seemed to have so much kind of paraphernalia, is that the correct word I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like of Sonic history, and it was good to see it all kind of laid out on display. So that's one I'll look forward to seeing again, definitely.
Yeah, I think that was definitely one of my favorites, and I think just a good layout. It also reminds me, because in the last lap of Metal Harbor is when the rocket takes off, which it does in the original game. And you talk about the museum as well, where everything comes to life. And it does remind me that literally, regardless of which tracks are your favorite, every lap is different. Like there is no lap is the same in any race, because you have your first lap, you then obviously have the Crossworlds mechanics, so you're literally doing a lap in a whole different place. Yeah. And then the final lap, yes, you're returning to an area, but the layout sometimes changed, dynamics of what's happening has changed.
In the museum, everything comes to life.
Oh no. I lost my
Oh my
ring.
god, everything's come alive in this place. What the heck?
Yes, which we were thrilled about when we first played.
Yeah.
I
everything
love
in a way.
Yeah.
I love that when I first experienced it. I do have a question for you guys. So, as we know, there's 3 different types of modes in each stage. Land mode, where the vehicles move very swiftly. There's a lot going on. There's whoosh whoosh things, whoosh whoosh things.
Yeah.
That's a
Whoosh,
saying
yeah.
now. Then
Whoosh,
there's
whoosh,
the
whoosh.
water that Noodle earlier said it was a little bit difficult to figure out, mostly because unless you understand the boost mechanic, it is a little bit strange, and when to use the boost mechanic and how to best use it. But the speed, more or less, is the same on land as it is in water. Right? Especially when you're using the boost continually, you're moving quite fast. Do you find, like I did, that when you're in the air, the machine is very heavy and slow? So when you're trying to move up, you go through the right? And also, it feels like everything has slowed down a lot compared to the other 2 modes, which I found a very bad disconnect. I didn't like it. I don't particularly like when we fly.
I get what you're saying about having it feel like it was slower. I think that is something that they have done in the previous games as well, personally. I might be wrong. But I do wonder if it's also because, again, the boost was so kind of rigid when you had to be perfectly still in order to activate a boost. If it just felt slower because nobody was boosting, maybe.
So,
But
that's
I
interesting.
definitely did. You do feel like the machines are heavier. Yes, I would say that.
I would agree. There was definitely a change of pace for the flying segments. I think, in my head, the way I interpreted it anyway was because I feel like because you're adding an extra dimension of movement and an extra dimension to the track, I feel like if you were going at those crazy speeds that you were on land, I feel like it would become a bit unmanageable and maybe a bit too much. So I feel like that might be I feel like that might be a conscious decision to make it more playable, basically. But it does have the negative effect that it does have that slight disconnect in the momentum to the rest. Once I learned you could boost, because obviously when you're flying, you can boost in the same way as you can drift left or right and boost that way. But once I realized that you could boost vertically as well, that helped me. That changed everything for me. So it's I can boost when I'm going up and down. That's very
Which I
useful to
didn't
know.
figure out. Again, gatekeeping the information. So
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah, he's keeping everything from us. Jeez.
So, for example, there's one Crossworlds level that's a lot of going up and down, like the fiery dragon one.
Yes, the lava something.
So, when you're going down, that was a good opportunity to boost because you could build up a good drift while you were tilting over the end. So, again, the flying one is the one I had the least confidence in. I feel like I mastered the water one after a while, especially the boosting, but the air one definitely needs more time for me to get it, for me to fully get it.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of these tracks we talked about were almost exclusively in the online mode. Only 3 tracks in the single player. So for us to experience them was exclusive to playing the online mode. Makes sense. They want you to test the network. We did 2 different things. We spent a whole evening playing with each other, doing the festival. We played the festival mode and the Joker Festival, which was very team-based. And then the next night we did world matches, which was more 1v everyone else. How did people feel about the festival event? Because that was our sort of entry point into the online mode. What were your initial reactions to playing a festival match?
I'll be honest. How to say this? If the festival was like what every online match was going to be like, I wouldn't have been playing it online for much longer.
Well,
I like that they do it. I like that they're giving different options for different things and different rewards. But it's also good that they're kind of limited time events. Because I think we all kind of judged last night, the level of competitiveness, shall we say, that people had in the events compared to the normal races was extreme. Like, there was absolute tryhards going for it every single race, I would say. However, it was good that they're doing events like that rather than just giving you that it's online and that's it. And I don't know, was the event optional, or was it like you had to be in it if you're online? I didn't see that.
During
I think
the festival,
for the
that was
first day
only
we
option.
played, it was the only online option. But keep in mind that we also only played 2 out of the 4 days that they allowed it. So we don't know if that was like just a 1-day thing that we managed to get in, or if it was throughout the 3 days.
Cool.
Yeah. PB, I know in the past we've talked about how you felt festival in terms of the keeping track on doing a mission as well as keeping a track on racing and trying to come first place. How did you feel about that combo?
So I think that the way the festival works is interesting. Not necessarily good interesting, not bad interesting, just interesting. I will say I struggled with the missions. The rings one was good. The other two, one of them was the tricks, and the other one was bumping into your
Teammates. Yeah.
your teammates,
Yeah.
which I found kind of dumb. I didn't like it at all. So I will say that once the game drops, if those are the 3 recurring festival modes, I will probably find myself playing only half an hour at a time during a mission that I am accustomed to, or a mission that I like.
Same.
Because the others that I didn't get, we kept falling behind because I was affecting the score of the entire team. And in doing that, we were falling behind in getting the rewards slower. So there's a lot. It's a lot. It felt like a lot, right? And also the placement meant absolutely nothing, because even though
Little, it added up so little to the actual score. It was all about the mission.
Exactly. If 3 of us were really good, which quite frankly, all 3 of you were better than I was in the first day, because again, I was really trying to figure out what the game was about, and the controls were not very friendly for me.
Yeah.
So you 3 were placing 8 and above, and I kept dragging you all down in 12th. That meant that most of the time our team would fall last, because the average, I was bringing the average down so much, right? Which I feel like in a co-op, it shouldn't be the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it should balance out somehow, but somehow I kept dragging everyone down only because I was doing a bloop, basically.
Yeah.
But between that and, you need to know what you're doing with the festival. And it does feel like if you don't have a team of 4 people for festivals, you will struggle.
Yeah.
Because the AI that they replace you with, the AI that they replace people with, does not help you.
No, it was really...
It does not do great for your team.
Not that.
It was
It's
just
like-
generic Ghost data, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it
so
was,
it is strange, and I feel like when we finally play the festivals, once the game launches, unless we have 4 people in our team who know what they're doing and are going for it, we are going to struggle to get all the rewards in an event. And if you've ever seen me play something, when it comes to rewards and achievements, I need all of it. So I'm going to be hammering down on getting those events as much as possible. That said, online play, what was it called?
World match?
World match, 10 on 10. Loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
do it
much
again.
fun. So much fun. Really enjoyed it. I like the fact that even though we were all playing against each other, like, you were increasing your rank, which would then give you other bonuses and stuff. So it was nice that you could sort of egg each other on that way. So I like that there was a reward for playing the world match as well. we also, you won't know this, Noodle, but we also tried the crossplay out last night as well to see how well that worked. And it was so seamless. Like, it worked really well. It was no issue adding PB on Steam to my Xbox friends list through the game and stuff. It was just like really straightforward. Didn't have to do it for a third party, anything. It was just like, just add the ID, done. And we had no issues playing. So I was pleasantly pleased with that, because it means I can play with even more of my Sonic friends.
Fantastic.
It is very good. It is very, very well done.
Fantastic.
I'm very happy with that. And I think, the general, as for an online test, I don't want to go too much into the times we had drops outs and stuff, purely because that's the purpose of what this was, to test out the network.
Exactly.
And test
It's
out
not
the
meant
issues
to be
and stuff.
perfect. Yeah.
Exactly. So, like, we did have a few cases where it would drop us out of matches and the network would disconnect and stuff. But that was the purpose, to test the things out before release. So I'm just hoping that they do iron those issues out from this test in time for release day. So, generally, how do we feel about this game at the end of the network test? Are we excited? Are we hyped? Or are we just like, nah?
I enjoyed it a lot. I was saying to PP earlier on that I definitely will be purchasing it. It might not be a day one purchase, but I would like to get it and have lots of fun with you guys playing it.
Don't give me too much time playing on my own. Maybe flattening you even more.
As soon as I said that, I was like, yeah, it's going to be level 90 by the time I get on it. So.
300 hours in the first month.
PB, it's a new day. I'm aware.
I'm aware.
I'm genuinely curious, PB, because what you think, because again, we mentioned at the beginning of the top of the episode that you never really got your teeth into any Sonic game before, let alone racing games with Sonic. So coming out of this experience, is this a game you think actually I do want to invest some time into?
I am going to be fully transparent and brutally honest, as I usually am. Sometimes more than others, but here it goes, right? I will admit, when you first showed me this, I thought it is going to be again, because of my limited knowledge, Mario Kart 3 skin. And I probably will enjoy playing it once or twice for the sake of us having tested it and having had a bit of fun, do a stream over it, and then I'll be more of the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another game with the same frills and power-ups and things, and that's it. I will say, the more I played, the more I wanted to play. And when 4 o'clock hit yesterday, after a whole day of work, fucking knackered, right? I was annoyed that I wasn't going to be able to play tonight. It actually hit me, like, you need to do one more game, because tomorrow evening you're going to be annoyed that you can't play this today. And that speaks to how good of a game it is. Yeah. Right? It might not be like the perfect game, right? Because which game is? But it is fun, it is engaging, great soundtrack, great visuals, except for roulette thing. And I'm very looking forward. It has very much surpassed my expectation. And I'm kind of really happy that this is my introduction to Sonic in games. Which is wild, but there you go.
I'm glad too, because it seems like a safe, solid entry point, because sometimes that's not always the case. So we're in safe hands this year.
Yeah.
I'm also really looking forward to it. Obviously, I would have played it regardless, because it's a Sonic game. But having played it now, again, echo what you said, PV, the fact that after we're done tonight, I can't play it makes me sad. Like, I want to jump in. I want to play around with the stats. I want more stuff. So it can't come soon enough. And I can't wait to play the whole roster of characters that are on their way as well. Because there's so many characters I want to try out and see what they're like. So I'm very
It's
excited.
definitely going to be a very good stream game.
Yes.
What I find as a streamer, and maybe Noodle can echo this a little bit, is that the joy of doing this game is that from one match to another, there is a good flow.
Yeah.
If a match lasts 5 minutes, from that moment to the next game, like, yes, we said, it would be nice if you had the option to leave, so you can do the frills of the car, right?
Yeah.
But because we have an audience, we have a stream audience, they're excited, they want to be engaged, they want to keep the fun going, right? It flows from one match to another so seamlessly that it is a actually really good game to stream.
Yeah.
Where there are other co-op games where there's that massive disconnect. Oh, we've done a round, now we have to fuff around for 15 minutes until we do the next match. This is like one after another, and after another, until you tire out and you're spent from all the excitement and exhaustion. So it is going to be a very, very good game to stream. And I am visualizing that I'm going to have to gift this game for Christmas to many people so they can play with me.
Speaking of the fact of being a good stream game, it's a perfect time to mention that if you want to watch myself, J-Bear, and PB play it, before official release date, you need to head over to the Convention Creators Twitch account, because we are very blessed and very lucky to have a copy of the game a few days early from our wonderful friends at Sega Europe. So we're very excited to stream that and just explore everything we've been talking about in this episode and the new characters and all this sort of stuff. So do check that out. The link will be in the description. And again, thank you, Sega, so much for giving us the opportunity. We love it and we can't wait to play it. Yes, I literally can't wait. I do not want to wait. I want to play it now.
Now, where is it? Is it the 21st yet? In the meantime, Noodle, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you checking out this game in the near future?
Right, okay. Well, yeah, you can find me on Twitch and TikTok. I am just Sage Noodle, www.twitch.tv/Sage Noodle.
And just because we haven't mentioned it enough times, never enough, Sage Noodle is part of our Convention Creatives stream team. So you will be seeing more and more of Sage Noodle reviewing different games from now going forward. That's it. Announced.
Yes.
Without discussing it with Sage.
Not with this face, though.
He is getting plastic surgery. On to you, Jay.
Yes, well, for those listening through the Convention Creatives, if you want to know more Sonic goodness, we will be covering as much as we can about the game as it comes out on my Sonic account, which is Sonic Cage Dome. You can find us on Instagram, most social media platforms, but Instagram is the place to be. So if you are on Insta, go there and you can follow us and check out our stories, check out our posts, because I post a lot about all the wonderful stuff I collect and the games that I'm very much into. So do check us out there. For those of you listening through the Opinion Zone podcast, PB, where can we find out more about this convention lot?
You can find out more about myself, PB, and the podcast that I co-host with J-Bear at the What is our social media again? You can find us at the Con Creatives on all social media platforms, including on Twitch, where I stream extremely sporadically because I have no schedule. But it is, I do the best I can. I stream as much as I can. Please come check us out. We do art streams, we do gaming streams, we do everything because that is life. A bit of everything. So why not?
Spice of life.
Why not? And if you are a fan of the Convention Creatives or want to support what we're doing going forward, check out our Patreon. information will be at the end of the episode. So, thank you so much, PB, as always.
you.
But also, big special thank you to first-time guest Noodle. Thank you again for talking.
Thank you
Sonic
so much for
with us
having me.
today.
Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Until next time, we wish you all the best, and yeah, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Is it the 21st yet? And can I play this game?
Thank you to our amazing conventioneers, Beck and Kit, who have joined our Patreon. Support the show and join the community yourself at www.patreon.com/theconcreators. Find out more from our show sponsors and where to follow us on social media at www.theconcreators.com. The podcast is hosted and produced by Gilles Bone and Jay Egnan.